What is up, everybody? Good morning. Today is Sunday, October 31st, and happy Halloween, everybody. Tom, what's up, my man?
Not much, man. How are you? It feels like it's been forever since we were here together.
I know, without you on the Friday show, it was weird. But like I said, we made the idea to do it. You got school and stuff, so it makes sense. It makes sense. But yeah, it definitely was weird not having you there on Friday. And then we basically now me and you just go today and tomorrow, and then so we're just like best friends for 2 days of the week, and we just don't speak the rest of the 5.
I mean, I'm gonna try to make it again on this Friday. I just had.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, I just got an update from Corey. He's not around.
Okay. We don't know where Asher is right now. We think he's going to be joining us, but he is in the military and stationed overseas. And I was kind of explaining to Tom that it doesn't happen often, but he might have got called to formation or something like that. So he's open. He'll pop in if he pops in. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But we do have a very, very big Sunday of football today. Almost a little bit of a separation Sunday. We'll see who the real contenders are and who aren't. So let's get started. I had 2 questions. Well, first of all, so I know I'm always the betting guy. I do want to say 4-1 yesterday, huge day for me, big, except Ohio State couldn't score to get that 60.5 over, but 4-1, 3-0 against the spread. I am seeing the board very clearly in college right now. I could not be – I am blind in the NFL. So I would fade me this week if you're going to do my picks. And shout out to the guy yesterday who I don't know who it was, but he must listen to the Friday podcast on YouTube or something. But he tweeted me in the morning my picks, and he was like, "Let's rock." And I was like, "Huh, well, okay." So that may be one of the Matts. I don't know, but it was interesting. I was like, "Oh, I got a fan out there." So I do, yeah. and they went 4-1. So I'm happy about that. But like I said, I would fade me in the NFL. But so we talk about bad beats. I talk about bad beats. There was a horrible bad beat last night in the Clemson-Florida State game. I did not bet on this, but so basically Clemson, Florida State is down 24-20. There's like 5 seconds left. They are in their own territory. They got to do basically a Hail Mary, which they're going to do a lateral play. It's 24-20 in the spread. Was Florida State plus 9.5, so you got unless something crazy happens. Something crazy happens.
See if Florida State can get a miracle. 4 seconds to go. Travis, little hook and ladder, and here we go. Travis scoops it up. They're still alive. That went backwards, but it's loose on the fumble. Boy, this is going to be interesting. If it's a touchdown, it is. One more.
You can hear the pain in some of those bettors in the stadium seeing what just happened and what went down because they know exactly what just happened.
Oh, the bet, yeah, of course. It's always I can't remember the guy who used to do it. One of the guys who used to do the late night games, some of the Big Ten games, was clearly an avid bettor on the college football games, and he would always make comments about the spread and stuff. But you heard it from the announcer there. Oh, this could be big or whatever he said. That is a terrible beat. I am sorry to all you out there. I don't know what I would have done if that was me. Tom?
With that being said, though, for someone who picked perfect in college, at least through most of the games, that made me very happy to stay perfect for my pick'em pool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, Florida State.
Oh, wait. I didn't realize I lost 3 out of the – what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8. Out of the 11 games that I picked, I only lost 3 of them. It would have been good. 4.
That's a good week for you. That's really good.
I know, for college, bro, right?
I know. With already these are do you get these lines on Friday or is it like a preset thing?
So the pick'em pool, there's a moderator who puts out the lines and which games we pick, and they put them up usually on Wednesday because you have to pick the Thursday night football game for the NFL. So the lines are done from Tuesday night, Wednesday morning type beat.
So when you were first explaining this to me, for whatever reason, I thought that it was almost like a NCAA March Madness kind of pool where they had preset spreads throughout the whole season, and for like the past 3 weeks, I've been like, that is so confusing. They probably have Clemson as like 25-point favorites over these guys if they did them all at the beginning of the year. But no, that was just me being dumb. But yes, that was a good week for you, good week for me, and hopefully we'll be able to give out. I know Tom will at least, but he'll give out some good starter sleepers and sit-ems. I have a pretty good list as well. But before getting to that and the injury report, I had an interesting question pop in my head this morning. And I think it relates to you, Tom. And I think it's just kind of a two-part hypothetical.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right, so if you could be there for one live sporting moment in the history, and you could change the outcome, what would it be?
So when you say change the outcome, does it have to be like one specific play that I change, or does it have to be like an overall?
Overall.
Overall. Okay.
No, it's just like somebody missed a shot, but it would have gone. Like you can change it to going in.
Okay, so it's one specific event, not like an entirety of a game.
No.
Okay. Oh. All right. Well, then I guess. Oh man, I don't know. That's a really good one because there's a lot.
I have one that came to my head right away.
I mean, I did too, but I don't know if I should go with it or not. Is my thing.
I'll go first. I don't care. Yeah. I would have given both of my testicles to be at the national championship game when Gordon Hayward
that's what I was just thinking
to kill Duke. And like I was thinking about, I was like, am I just being a hater of Duke? And looking back on that, like that was the year that Duke swung into like they were better than UNC for a couple, like the stretch run and the recruiting and everything. But just to see that shot go in, and you've obviously seen the video a million times, but what's even better about the video, other than the shot, is the pick that the Butler big man just lays Kyle Singler out. Like it's like a receiver coming across the middle. I remember watching it. I was like openly orgasming. I was like, oh my God, that's great. But just to be there to see Gordon Hayward, like little known Butler, and Gordon Hayward take down the big dogs Duke, and like just the things that Coach K would say afterwards. Like I seriously thought about it, and I tried to think of other ones, but right now, like in my head, I really think it's that.
That's where I initially went to as well. And I was like, I don't know if I should go with it because like that seems just like a homer type thing. But like it would be nice. Like I wasn't at Butler, obviously. I wasn't an alum. I wasn't, looking to go to Butler because that happened, like you said, 2008. I was like 8 or 9 years old at that point.
Jesus Christ. I was
in
high school.
But like, yeah, that would be something where I'd be like, yeah, I could do that. Or if we wanted to talk about that scenario so far this year throughout the football scene, we could go back and undo Justin Tucker's kick to give the Lions a win. Yes. Or the other time the Lions lost on a kick, or the other time after that.
Yes. So with that being said, I do have another question, but I'll save it for later just because it'll be something to bring up later. But the last comment on the thing, it's just like, if you think about recent things, like that's probably like overall, that's got to be one of the coolest things to like had it gone in and everything. So let's get into our Fantasy Sunday. Let's start out with our injury report. I always just pull this up. I know, Tom, you have it scoped out on Twitter mostly. We apparently, Tom didn't know, even I knew this, but Corey Davis is doubtful, you said?
Yeah, he's very, very doubtful, let's put it as.
Yeah, which I knew on Friday, so I don't know how Tom didn't, but that stinks. But it does stink because now Mike White literally has like no one to throw to.
Jamison Crowder could potentially have a big day, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, I kind of keep waiting for Jamison Crowder to I don't know. I don't know what I expect from Jamison Crowder. He went to Duke too, so I don't know. I don't know.
I guess he did, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
He did go to Duke. Speaking of Duke, sorry, something's playing. God. Sorry, that's on me. This is
Dude, it's all good. I'm just sitting here trying to get someone else here.
Wake Forest Duke play yesterday. Wake Forest minus 16.5 was the easiest bet I've ever made in my life. They killed. So I'm starting with the injury report. I think everyone's known this since Friday, but Baker is playing.
I didn't know that.
I don't really think it affects much fantasy. Maybe defenses, maybe wide receivers, but it shouldn't affect much fantasy. It's going to be a sloppy game in Cleveland today, I think. But I will say this about Baker: like, if he's choosing to play and he says he can play through the pain and everything, well, then if whatever the outcome is, I don't want to hear him complain or anyone give up excuses after the game about how he's injured. So, but yes, Baker is playing. Dak Prescott for Sunday night tonight is it's 50-50. So no one really knows, and I think you're gonna have, if you have Dak Prescott, I think you're just gonna kind of have to make a gut decision on it. I'll jump ahead real quick and go ahead and say it. My sit-em is Dak, just because you don't know if he's gonna play. Like, with it being a 50-50 chance, you just don't know if he's gonna play. So
for everything that I've seen, like, it looks like he's gonna play, but I agree, if he's playing hurt, Dak does not play through injury well. He has a very tough time when it comes to playing through injury, mentally speaking. So I think it would mess up his game anyway. So we can get there when we get there.
Zach Wilson is obviously out. So they signed Joe Flacco, but he's not going to start. Oh, is it because of the COVID protocols?
COVID protocols and the fact that he still needs to reassimilate with the system, I believe.
Okay.
Because he was with the Jets last year, but that was still under the Adam Gase era. So he has not assimilated necessarily to Coach Saleh's system and to the playbook and everything. So he's going to need time and a week, I guess, to get into it. But yeah, I honestly, I wouldn't feel any better having Joe Flacco out there.
And honestly, I got to tell you, and this may sound like dumb coming from me, but like I said, it worked out for the Browns back in 2018. But is it really such a bad thing? Like, you've seen, like, I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but you've seen enough of Zach Wilson this year to know that if there's a competent offensive line, he can be at least serviceable at worst.
Right.
So is it really the worst thing if for the next 4 or 5 weeks he's out, or even like maybe get him in the last 3 or 4 games of the season just to see how things are looking, and then get another high draft pick? I mean, from what everyone's saying, Evan Neal from Alabama is supposed to be, and I can't imagine Mekhi Becton and those two. I mean, those are 2 bookend tackles that you are set with.
And like, I love Morgan Moses. I think he's done a really good job now that they're finally freaking playing the man. I was so mad when he wasn't starting week 1 because I forget who was playing our other tackle spot, but he sucked. He gave up like 5 tackles, whether it was to the running back or to the quarterback. He gave up like 5 tackles in like a span of 8 plays. It was literally making me cry. But
yeah, he's in his 30s too, right?
Morgan Moses, yeah, I think he just hit 30. Maybe a little older than that, but I think the big concern with him was the fact that there was an injury aspect to him. So they just got him on a 1-year deal once Washington cut him. But he's playing really well now. I really like it. But yeah, getting Evan Neal and Mekhi Becton would just solidify that line for the next 10 to 15 years. So long as they can manage salary cap wise. Then we could focus on getting, and also we can't forget, Elijah Vera Tucker is having a phenomenal rookie season. I think he was at one point, I don't know if it still reigns true, but at one point I think he was ranked the highest PFF rookie, I believe, for like their positional thing. Or I know in 1 week, I think it was week 3, he was the highest PFF guard for that week, but I forget the exact stat now that a little time has passed.
Yeah. Funny thing about Morgan Moses, he's always a dude I always drafted in Madden just because he was serviceable at right tackle, and I wasn't going to waste an early pick on a right tackle. But yeah, and I do think Elijah Moore has a little bit to show as well. And I mean, you're talking about Elijah Vera Tucker. It seems like a lot of these young interior offensive linemen are coming into the NFL and absolutely crushing it. And so I bring up the point again because obviously you want Evan Neal if you're the Jets, but is Tyler Linderbaum that bad of a like a consolation prize? Probably the best center to come out of. I mean, I legitimately think he's going to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say like, oh, I want one guy over the other or whatever. Getting Evan Neal to me would make me feel a lot better about it. You think back to when the Jets were good, 2010, 2011. In that one draft class, I want to say it was 2005, 2006. They drafted both Nick Mangold and DeBrickshaw Ferguson.
Yeah.
And you can see how building up the line has really helped. And that's just something that the Jets have always done well. They always draft linemen and they end up being pretty good. Even it doesn't matter the coach or the system. That's just something that the Jets are known for, even though they can't put together winning seasons because of it. But getting Evan Neal, Mekhi Becton, and AVT, I mean, that you're set for a very long time.
I agree. But like I said, the consolation prize is Tyler Linderbaum is not that bad for me. I mean, especially I speak personally from the Browns. I mean, Jedrick Wills he's serviceable and he's probably a little bit above average, and Jack Conklin is pretty good. But I mean, the meat of that line is the two guards in the center, and like Wyatt Teller and Joel Bitonio and J.C. Treader it's the three best interior linemen in the NFL, and I'm pretty sure by a wide margin. So. But yeah, so I mean, I don't think it's terrible for Zach Wilson to be out and not take a billion more hits this year because, who am I thinking of? Because, and then you look at a situation like Justin Fields and you're like, that dude may not have a chance at all next year just because he may not make it to next year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, and it does very much hurt that, who's the tackle? Tevin Jenkins is out for the year, and they let go of, I think it was Charles Leno when they announced he was going to play. And he got signed, I think, by Washington, and that's how we got Morgan Moses. But it's a whole issue there. That whole system needs to be torn down for a minute. Nagy, I don't know if this counts as an injury for the injury report, but Nagy, I think, has COVID. So he's not going to be there calling plays. So the Bears are a sneaky pick this week.
It's the biggest injury news of the day, and it's good news for Bears fans. Like, how awesome would it be if Justin Fields and the Bears go out and, like, they'll probably lose, but either way, like, they'd still drop, like, 30, 35 points. Like, if you're the Bears at that point, like, you just can't let Matt Nagy back into the building ever again. Just be like, hey, man, drop your key off, put it under the mat, like, goodbye. You're done. But yeah, that is huge injury news. Even though I got to tell you, I still wouldn't feel comfortable starting Justin Fields.
I'm not saying that much. I'm not going that far. But hey, Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, he's been good.
He's been very, good very now, good. But we can see maybe better in Bill Lazor. Because remember, and I'm not giving away any of my picks. Sorry if I'm giving away any of yours. But remember last year, Bill Lazor called plays for the last 5 weeks of the season. David Montgomery, the last 5 weeks of the season, played at RB3 overall, and that's including having Derrick Henry going off so that he could get the rushing title. Who was another? Zeke was not good last year.
Chubb was up there last year.
Chubb was up there last year, so he was playing at RB3 the last 5 weeks of the season. So that can only mean good things for Khalil Herbert, who's proving that he actually is very capable. So I'm actually very excited to see him in Bill Lazor's system.
Yeah, if anything, I would take this is me obviously coming in from the gambling point, but I would wait until the game starts because I think it might end up going the way you want it to. I don't think it's a terrible idea if you have a little extra money, but won some yesterday, sprinkle a little on the Bears money line. It's not out of the question. I mean, you've seen it. We see it with the Raiders right now that all the players are coming together for the interim coach. Well, it would be like that, the opposite in Chicago, where they're coming together against their coach. So, Moving on though, Taysom Hill is out. Just a quick
Still.
question. You can give me a quick answer.
Sure.
Is Taysom Hill in the NFL in 4 years?
No.
I honestly don't think so either. So
I was waiting for him to get hurt because like he was a quarterback and he was like the guy not getting hit or whatever as much. But he's not being used as a quarterback now. He's being used as a running back, as a receiver, as a tight end, and as a quarterback sometimes where he goes in and runs. Like he was getting waxed when he never was used to it. So I'm surprised he made it this long without getting this kind of injury.
Yeah, and like honestly, he made the wrong decision. Like I think he could have stuck around in the NFL as a backup for 15, 20 years. But now he's like decided to make this like
Are you
transition.
serious?
What?
I'm so mad right now again, bro.
What?
Calvin Ridley is now out due to a personal matter yet again, just like the London game. They're 100% tanking, bro.
That's on you. Calvin Ridley is not going to play this year.
Ugh, I'm gonna have to trade his ass, bro.
We'll get to it at the end, but we can also get into the Tom's Fantasy League. I felt like I was in Mean Girls over the week.
That was funny. I'm not gonna lie. That was great.
I like I said, we'll bring it up. We got some important stuff to get to. I'll bring it up at the end, but I was sitting back laughing.
I was too. I was just sitting there unloading all of these memes and everything. I was like, yes, sir. It was great.
Yeah, it took me back. Let me just
Screw
say
you, Calvin Ridley. That's all I have to say for this episode. That could be our title for the episode. Screw you, Calvin Ridley.
If that's what you want it to be, that's what it'll go up as once I load it up there. On to the running backs. Barkley's out. Everyone knows that. Austin Eckler is questionable.
No, he's going to play. They announced that last night.
Okay. Okay, I'll get back to that game later. Alex Collins is questionable, which is Carson still on the IR?
I believe so, but I saw that Coach Carroll is going to try and get Rashad Penny more involved this week. So I think he's a former first rounder, and Pete Carroll loves him and all the ability that he has. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is where we see Rashad Penny take over as the top backup.
I think you were on that last week a little bit too.
I was. So, I actually played him last week, even though he got Actually, I think I benched him. I think I benched him last minute.
Fuck, I can't. Shout out to Alex Collins. I picked you up for 1 week because I somehow in our Pirate League I have the greatest roster known to man except for running backs. Well, now I'm set at running backs, but I didn't. So Alex Collins, thank you for the 1 week. I appreciate it. Moving on though.
I'm sorry. Hang on 1 second. I'm on Ian Rappaport's Twitter where he just announced Calvin Ridley being out for a personal matter. Yeah, that's Sal. He was laughing at the comment he made about our high school drama. Underneath
feel free to comment, Sal.
Tweet, he's going to be on soon. I was just messaging you in the private chat. He's going to come.
Cool. Dope.
But a bunch of people under Ian Rappaport's tweet of Calvin Ridley being out was like, the personal reason is that he's going trick-or-treating. Personal reason is he's scared of Stephon Gilmore. Where the heck is Russell Gage this week? He's probably trick-or-treating. Like, this is so funny. I'm not going to lie.
I got to say, though, speaking of that game in particular, like this has to be Sam Darnold's last chance, right? Like, if not, they got to move on from him.
I don't think that they can personally. They have to at least play out next year too. I think next year is it for Sam. They invested draft capital into him, and not that it's a first round pick, but they did, I think, send a second and maybe something else. Where we saw, a second could be a really solid player. The past couple of years, we've seen some second round guys really coming to make a difference. T. Higgins last year was a second round pick. This year, Javonte Williams is starting to pop off a little bit.
Yeah, he is.
Tevin Jenkins, when he eventually plays, I think should be pretty good. He was a second round pick. So there are a bunch of guys that can make an impact in the second round. So the fact that they traded that kind of a pick away for Sam, I think they're going to at least give him next year because that's the end of his rookie deal. Other than that, yeah, I think that's his last chance.
See, I disagree with you on that, but like I said, we have important stuff to get up. I'll bring this up later. There was some interesting news I heard on a podcast earlier this week, but
Sure.
let's get through the injuries first. Miles Sanders is on the IR, I guess. Incredibly disappointing year from him. I don't know if it's Philly's system or his just they don't want to give him the ball. I don't know, but it's been very disappointing for him. I thought he would be one of their bright spots on offense. He has not been. Okay. DeAndre Swift is questionable as well, as is Jamal Williams.
Is he really?
Oh, wow. So, yeah, about that Lions winning one today. Jeez. You know what? That makes one of my picks later even stronger.
Wait, what? I just got a report the Jets are open to trading Marcus May, which isn't really a surprise, but they want at least a third-round pick. That man is like young as heck, one of the better safeties in the league, and you want at least a third-round pick?
He's not young as heck. He's about 28. He's not a young. But I agree. But once again, Tom, we don't understand NFL trades. We keep discussing this. We don't understand them. We don't
They're
understand
not like
them.
Madden trades. What am I going to do?
No, it's just not like NBA trades.
That's
like
true.
NBA real life trades. Like
they're not real life
crazy.
trades. They're playing a simulation.
You know what? I would not be surprised if the Browns talk to the Jets about Marcus May, just because
they do need a safety.
They don't need a safety actually at all, but the pairing between Harrison, Delpit, and John Johnson, it's not been going well. But like it's the Browns game. We'll get to that in a little bit. Tevin Coleman is out. It really doesn't affect things, I don't think. Also, Chris Evans is out for the Bengals.
Oh no, not Chris Evans.
Okay, all right.
He was gonna be something behind Joe Mixon and the other guy,
all right,
Sam Ryan. He was gonna be great.
I shut up. All right. Kenny Galladay also out for Monday Night Game. early maybe front runner for worst signing of the year. And it's not really the Giants' fault. It's just that he has been injured, and clearly it was just only him in the Detroit Lions system, and I don't know. Odell Beckham, his shoulder, he's questionable. I wouldn't play him. I don't know why you would play him. If he's on your team, I don't know why he's on your team. He may be, especially with Baker playing today, he might get targeted twice. Julio Jones is out as well. I think they announced that yesterday.
Quick,
Antonio
what's his real
Brown
name?
is out. What's up?
Quick, what's his real name?
Who?
Julio. What's his real name?
James.
Quintoris. Means gladiator.
He kind of does look like. I'm not going to get into it.
His name is Quintoris Jones. Fun fact.
I'm looking at his picture on CBS right now. It kind of looks like a gladiator. I don't know.
He looked a lot
Antonio
more
Brown
like
is
a
out.
gladiator in Atlanta.
Antonio Brown is out, which is huge. You probably know this better than I do. He's been playing up to wide receiver 3, maybe wide receiver 4.
Who is it? I'm sorry.
Antonio Brown.
I want to. He's definitely top 10, but because of the injuries, then the games he hasn't played, I'll say he's probably around wide receiver 12, 14. I can look it up very quickly.
I still think he's. You don't have to. He's surprised people, and I know that in the last couple of weeks he's been a must. He's been a must start.
23 because he's had 2 games that he didn't play in, and then one where he got hurt early. So that's essentially 3 games he didn't play in, but he's still wide receiver 23.
Yeah, he's been very effective with the Bucs, but that's not a surprise.
Amazing.
We talked about this earlier. But Corey Davis is out. Hip is not good. T.Y. Hilton is questionable. Devontae Parker is questionable as well. Sterling Shepard up in the air, questionable.
Corey Davis just got confirmed as out.
Kadarius Toney is questionable.
Yep, he's still hurt with that ankle injury.
Damn it. Okay. Kendrick Bourne is questionable. He might be a random pickup for some people.
I actually have him as one of my deep sleepers that I keep on my deeper league teams.
Yeah,
In our dynasty, you remember I had him for probably 2 weeks before I had to cut him when Shepard came back. I actually really like him as a long-term play. I think he fits that system extremely well.
And we've seen it over whether it's Tom Brady. Well, I mean, we've only seen Tom Brady really, but whether it's Tom Brady, but it's the New England system, there is always one receiver at the end of the year that distances himself from the pack, and he's like Tom Brady's go-to guy. And I don't think they have one of those yet, so it's not a bad idea to take a flyer on him. But
I mean, it would be Jacoby Myers as of right now, just because he gets all those receptions and the yardage. He doesn't get the touchdowns. I think it's hilarious that he still hasn't caught a touchdown in his career.
He threw one.
He caught one, and they had a flag, and it got called back, but he still hasn't caught one.
Shit, I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it. Okay.
Sorry.
Where are we at? Injury report. Kendrick Bourne, DPJ, Browns fans is out. Not a big deal. Deshaun Jackson is out. Team decision. They're trading him. I don't know where he's going to end up. My gut says the Chiefs, but I don't know. Deontay Harris, questionable for the Saints. That would be a pretty big loss.
Jamal Williams is out.
Who is?
Jamal Williams.
Making one of mine stronger. Deontay Harris has got to be wide receiver 1 for the Saints, right?
Callaway, I think, is back, and he's technically the one.
Yeah, I know. I always mix up him and Harris, Callaway and Harris. They kind of look like. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, but he's questionable. Diami Brown is out for the football team. Curtis Samuel is out. Has he played a game yet this year?
I think he played 1, and that was it.
If this is anything, I mean, it's been a weird year. There have been a lot of injuries that are just weird this year. Preston Williams did not make the trip to Buffalo. Undisclosed reason, who knows. Terrence Marshall Jr., Panthers, has concussion, out for the game. I haven't been keeping up with him. Is he having any season at all?
Who?
Terrence Marshall, the rookie.
No, not really. I mean, he's gotten some passes here or there, but not really, no.
It's disappointing. I really wanted the Browns to take him. Gronk is questionable.
I don't think he's supposed to play, though. Like I see that he's questionable as well, but I don't think he's supposed to play.
It would surprise me if he plays. He basically practiced in limited practice all week. But as early morning Sunday reports, Gronkowski is expected to suit up and play.
There you go.
We'll see. I don't know. Eric Ebron is out, the Steelers tight end. Ooh, Dawson Knox is out too. That stinks. He
broke his hand and had surgery, so I think he's out for like another 2 weeks after this week.
That stinks. He was having a good year. Evan Ingram is questionable. How has that guy not been good in the NFL? I don't understand it. Johnny Smith is questionable. Also makes one.
Corey Davis is out officially, but CJ Mosley is back in the lineup. I think that's more important personally.
Yeah, I mean, your only chance is to keep this a low-scoring game.
100%, because we're not going to put up any more than 10 points total.
This is funny. Pharaoh Brown, the Houston Texans tight end, is questionable. Really doesn't matter. Tom,
wait.
Do you want to know an interesting fact about Pharaoh Brown?
Why is he a tight end? I remember him as a running back receiver return man.
No, he was always a wide receiver.
Oh, no, that's Pharaoh Cooper. I'm thinking of Pharaoh Cooper.
You want to know a funny story about Pharaoh Brown?
What's that?
In high school, I basically went one-on-one with him the entire game.
Ooh.
I don't think he caught a touchdown. I did have a pick. We were in zone coverage. I remember that, but I did have a pick. But yeah, no, he went to Oregon, and then I can't believe the NFL. But yeah, I mean, there were those guys that I played against in high school. That's points that like they would just walk on the field, and I was like, yeah, this isn't the same sport that we're playing. We're not playing the same sport as these people. Yeah, he was big though. He was good. He was really good at basketball too, oddly enough.
All right. I'm going to let you speed run the rest of the injury report because we've been going for a half hour and we have an hour and 15 left.
Jimmy Graham's out. Nick Folk is out. I'm not going to go defense. Other than Stephon Gilmore is supposed to play. He's activated. I already said Denzel Ward. Jalen Ramsey, questionable. Illness. Richard Sherman, questionable. C.J. Henderson, questionable. Nothing else. Defensive lineman. Clowney's questionable. Awesome. I'm so happy we paid a lot of money for him. All right, there's too many defensive people. Whatever. If you have a question, just ask it. Whatever. Let's get into our start, sit, sleeps. I guess just me and you for now. Is your buddy coming in or no?
I'm texting him now. I sent him the link. He was just taking a minute to get his start, sit, sleep pulled up.
All right.
Sal, if you're still here, feel free to join in.
Well, we can give him 2 minutes because I do want to talk about something real quick. So I was listening to. Oh, there he is. Okay, cool.
Continue with what you're saying. Hi, Sal. Nice entrance. He went, oh shit, as his entrance.
What's good? What?
You can leave your AirPods on.
What's up, Sal? You good?
No, they're connected to my phone. I'm great.
All right, cool. We'll get to our sit and start sleeping in a second. I wanted to talk about this real quick. I don't know if you guys listened to any of the Barstool. I listened to Pardon My Take. They had Mike Florio on this week. 95% chance Watson gets traded. Two things from this. We all agree that if he does get traded, Goodell is just going to pull the plug once he gets traded, correct?
Yeah. I think then they'll have circumstantial evidence to put him on the commissioner's exempt list. So he's not allowed.
And then the other thing I was going to say is my other thing is, I know you said this might be, I said this might be Sam Darnold's like last chance. I think it might be because I think they might trade for him still now, just anticipating next year.
Watching the Jets for so long, he's had so many chances with so many new teams. I just feel like regardless, like he has all the choices of weapons. He has all the young players, Chuba Hubbard, just decent offensive line, decent defense, and he just blew it up last week. So
see, I think it's going to mainly be contingent on whether or not McCaffrey comes back this season and whether or not he actually performs like he performed the first 3 weeks of the season. Because that Sam Darnold looked amazing. He made me regret the fact that we traded him away.
I remember, dude. We talked about it at the beginning. Like I think I picked up Sam Darnold in like 2 of my fantasy leagues just because he was playing so well.
We were starting him over Joe Burrow in our super flex because he was putting up amazing numbers. He was running as like quarterback 5.
Yeah. All right, let's get into our starters to sleep. Sal, what's up, man? How you doing?
Up? I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You're obviously a Jets fan with Tom.
I am.
Corey Davis is out. Well, you've been listening, so I'm not going to explain things to you.
Not sure.
All right.
So
go ahead, Tom.
just for clarity, Sal, this is Brownlow J from our fantasy league.
Legend.
Why?
We were talking about you in our little group chat between me, Sal here, and then 2 of our buddies, and we were like, Justin came in out of nowhere when we were doing the whole thing with Billy, and we were going crazy. It was honestly the best because we were just sitting there roasting him in our group chat outside of the league chat, and then we just all saw the message that Brownlow J commented something in the Dynasty League. We had been waiting for this moment.
Yeah, I was sitting back laughing at it all, and then at one point I was just like, you know what? I just got to say something. Like I don't have a dog in this fight.
It was much needed.
It was perfect.
I'm happy I could do that for you guys. Talking to you guys, you young folk, makes me feel young again. But whatever. Let's get to our the main part of our show. Tom, do you remember how we did last week?
I think I wrote it down, and if I didn't, I did write it down. I put in all of the numbers. I put in how everyone scored. So last week, just very quickly, should I just touch on the things that I did really well or really shit on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Ryan Tannehill, he put up 20 points, which I think was close to a season high for him, or at least it broke his average for the year, so I'll take that. Chuba Hubbard, 9.6. I got that one wrong. Jalen Waddle had 15. That was pretty borderline. The 49er defense versus the Colts had 7 points, so anytime you can get more than 5 from a defense is fantastic. Out of my sits, I put Daniel Jones. He put in 17.5, which I think was just above his average for the year, so I consider that an L for him. The Chicago running backs I had as my sleepers, or excuse me, my sits. Khalil Herbert put up 20 points, so I was 100% wrong on that. Tampa Bay gave up, I think it was 100 rushing yards to him on top of his receiving yards, so they had kept all other running backs to 70 or less. So I will take the L gladly on that. Tyler Boyd, I said, was a sit, and he only had 7 points, so I take that as a big dub for me. My defense was 20. I said bench both Kansas City and Tennessee. Tennessee put up 20 points from a defense. You start with 10. I don't even know how that was possible, but they shut down the Chiefs all right. And then out of my sleepers, I had Tua as my sleeper. Justin, I think you also had Tua as your sleeper. He put up close to 30. I think it was 28.5. I didn't really do well with the sleepers the rest of the way, especially the Ravens versus Cincinnati because they got negative points. So I had a very up and very down week last week. How about yourself?
I have no idea because it's in my other notebook.
Fantastic. We love to see it.
I could, like I say every time, everyone listening, take the advice from Sal and Tom. I'm more here for the betting side, but
and for me,
sometimes I hit the ocean when I throw a stone there. Who knows? All right, let's start with our starts. Sal, you know what, Sal, you're new. What up? Let's start with you. Who you starting at quarterback this week?
All right. Personally, I have watched this guy and since he was in college, and I've become a huge fan. He is unfortunately playing my team today. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow. He really has been lighting it up, and honestly, Jamar Chase has been having an historic rookie season, and I am expecting the same effort as he's been putting in the last few weeks, especially against our team, and our team has not been looking good. We let up 54 points against the Patriots last week, so I am expecting Joe Burrow to give it a full go against our team, especially with the way they've been hot so far.
Question for the room. Do we think that we'll see a 70 bomb this week? Because I'm very afraid that we see a 70 bomb.
I'm expecting close.
You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. I'll give out my pick at the end of the show.
Jamar Chase is getting at least 2 touchdowns. Maybe.
Like I said, you guys, I say everyone listen to you guys. I am on the complete opposite end of this. I think Jamar Chase is going to have an off day, but you know what? It's your pick. It's a good pick. I like it, but whatever.
It's a great pick.
Shut up, Tom. All right. Tom, who you starting at quarterback?
I know that I generally never like putting there because every single time that I do, he always goes the complete opposite way. But I am going as my starter quarterback. I am going with Kirk Cousins versus the Dallas Cowboys tonight. Part of that is contingent on the fact that Dak will be playing hurt or will be not playing at all. I think that would provide a lot of opportunity for Kirk Cousins to move the ball like he does in garbage time. But one of the hard realities that I have to face is Kirk Cousins is currently QB 10 for all fantasy quarterbacks. He's getting the 12th easiest defense for quarterbacks to face fantasy-wise. And more importantly, the contest has a projected points over-under of 53.5. And as much as I hate Kirk Cousins as a quarterback and I would never pick him in a restart of the NFL, the man knows how to put up fantasy points. And I'm going to stick with the numbers there. I also like to look at the past. Kirk Cousins, last time he played Dallas, put up 314 yards, 3 touchdowns. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to put him in and bite the bullet if I'm wrong. All
right. I feel that. I'm going with Jared Goff today. We just talked about how his two guys are out. His two guys are out. We talked about this. Dan Campbell, we like him. I love him. They got this might be one they might have to win this game to win a game. So I'm going with Jared Goff
by winning.
I'm also I put a little money on sprinkle a little money on the Lions money line every week until they win. So keep doing that, I guess. I don't know.
Sal, you agree? Yes.
Personally, I am expecting. Well, they're playing the Eagles, so as much as I'm from New Jersey, I know the Eagles a little bit well. I know that in these types of games, they usually fold. I am a very big fan of Jared Goff ever since he was on the Rams. I've been following him since he was at Cal. And honestly, he has a lot of weapons that are young, but at the same time, I'm expecting DeAndre Swift to have an extended role today.
So. Well, we were just saying earlier, Swift is questionable and Jamal Williams is out. So if Swift is not able to play, he's going to have to go through Goff. So I really like Justin's pick with that.
Nick Sirianni just he's a guy that
he's a coach for the Eagles.
Yeah, he's a guy that wants to be what Dan Campbell is. He wants to be Dan Campbell, but he's not Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
All right, running backs. Start, Tom.
I am going with a guy that I am blessed to have gotten in one of my leagues, James Robinson. Robinson is having the season of his life right now. He finally has found his groove. He is proving that Meyer is a terrible coach and should never have taken ETN. He's currently 7th most fantasy points, He's averaged the 7th most fantasy points among running backs over the last 5 weeks. So he's RB7 over the last 5 weeks, where he's recorded at least 100 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns in 4 straight contests. The Seahawks defense is not what it used to be. They're susceptible through the air, but if we know one thing about the Jaguars is they cannot move it through the air. So they're very happy that the Seahawks are also pretty susceptible to the running back position. By pretty susceptible, I mean they permit the 2nd most fantasy points to the running back position. So this just has J-Rob written all over this game. And we could, as to quote Major League, if they win this game today, they'll have won 2 games in a row, and they will have what is called a winning streak. I know it's going to be very hard for them to wrap their head around that, but I can't really talk being a Jets fan, so it's fine.
I feel it. Sal, what about you, my man?
I'm gonna go with a guy in one of my fantasy leagues. I've been sitting him because my starters are literally Derrick Henry and James Robinson, but I'm expecting him to have a really big game today, and that's Damian Harris.
Yes.
Because
we love Damian Harris here.
personally, he had a really good game against the Jets. I'm pretty sure that's going to continue against the Chargers today. I'm expecting him to have an extended role in the passing game, in the running game, especially in the red zone when they need it. And personally,
Sal's just so uncomfortable trying to avoid that.
you keep laughing, but what?
Nothing. I'm just Justin put it away, so it's fine.
finish your Damian Harris shit. Come on, let's go, Sal.
Damian Harris.
You're good.
I mean,
I'm only flicking you off because I'm only flicking you off because he's my pick too.
Yeah, that's all it was. He's just joking around.
Bro, I'm not like that.
He's not mad. We're all jokes here.
Yeah, Sal, I take nothing seriously in life. So, yeah. Okay, no, I had Damian Harris as well. That's why I was flicking you off. Go on, though.
But, I mean, especially Chargers are banged up. I'm expecting Damian Harris and the red-hot New England Patriots to go and make it a competitive game with the Chargers, who have been a little bit iffy lately. So, I'm excited. Unfortunately, I'm in Rhode Island. I'm going to hear about it, and pretty
that's
much,
unfortunate.
yeah. I hear about everything up here.
Yeah, Rhode Island. Really,
He goes to
Rhode
school.
Island. How's Rhode Island?
Very cold now. It's
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yesterday it was pouring and it was about 39 degrees.
Yeah. Okay.
Love it.
Walk back to my room.
We're gonna have to have you back on one of our shows. I have some questions about Rhode Island, so we'll get there though.
Tiny.
Sounds awesome to me. I live with Amish people. What are you talking about?
There you go.
Yeah, Damian Harris was my pick as well. And then I obviously did the only thing I do when someone takes my pick. I just went to who's the worst rushing defensive team in the NFL, and it's the Texans. I don't know who the Texans. Oh, they're playing the Rams, so the Rams have no running backs.
Darrell Henderson is not that bad.
Yeah, no. And then you picked the Seahawks, the Eagles. You already picked James Robinson. I don't know. I'm sticking with Damian Harris, like I said.
Fair enough.
I'll do this one as well.
You could put Joe Mixon, and everything would make sense anyway.
This one makes sense as well. You guys know me. We've been doing this for weeks now. I always do my own biases thrown in there. I think Nick Chubb has a pretty big game. I don't know. You guys aren't here, but the weather is terrible here. It's good. It's wet. It's cold. They're going to run the ball 40 times. So I expect Nick Chubb to get a lot of those carries, especially with Kareem Hunt out. And then I will bring up to Ernest Johnson later. But he had a hell of a game last week.
He did. He might have won me my week if my kicker wasn't a bum.
Damn it, I hate kickers. All right, let's get to wide receivers. Who you started today at wide receiver, Sal? You're up.
The Tennessee secondary is usually very iffy, and I know Tom's gonna like this one. I'm gonna go with Michael Pittman.
Sure.
A dude who's very consistent, especially when he's pretty much the only option on the field as of recently. But it's going to help with the Colts when T.Y. Hilton is coming back. And I feel like even though he is going to come back, I think Michael Pittman is still going to have the same role and going to have the same effect, especially when they're going to have an important rivalry game against Tennessee today.
Yeah, I actually like that pick a ton. I like Michael Pittman. I think he's coming on. I think he's going to come on strong at the end of the season as well. I think Carson Wentz also might have a big day. Tom.
I'm going to keep beating up on the Jets while they're down. I know everyone knows Jamar Chase is a superstar. I'm not going with Jamar Chase. I'm going with the counterpart, T. Higgins. T. Higgins has been, as Sal just mentioned with Pittman, Higgins has been consistent. If we look at all of the games that he played, and I know he missed, I think it was 2 weeks in a row with an injury, and I'm pulling up his numbers now just to confirm. He missed 2 weeks in week 3 and 4. But if you look at the rest of his games, it was 15 points, 10 points, 7 points, and 13 points. So he's never really been under 5. That 7 points was a little unfortunate. Excuse me. But the thing that I am just in love with T. Higgins right now was last week versus Baltimore. He had 15 targets. That is unheard of. The fact that he had 15 targets in the first 2 weeks when he had 15 points in each of those. He had 15 targets last week alone. The Jets secondary is a little beat up. It's not going to be great. They're starting a bunch of rookies at the corners. Jamar Chase, yes, he's going to have his targets and he's going to be great. Tyler Boyd is the odd man out. Uzama, because apparently we have to say Uzama because that's his name. It's not Uzama, it's Uzama. And they made a very big point on that on Twitter.
It's just like Kels. We have to call him Kels.
Right. But he's going to get targets as well. I think T. Higgins is going to find the holes and is going to be a PPR monster because he only caught 7 of those 15 passes last week that he was targeted. He catches those. I mean, he's easily over the 20-point mark. So I'm all in on T. Higgins this week versus the Jets.
Gotcha. I know we talked about him earlier as questionable, but I think it's worth a play if you have him in one of your leagues. I think he's going to play. Kadarius Toney from the Giants. The Chiefs' defensive secondary, other than Tyrann Mathieu, and the thing with Tyrann Mathieu is he plays position. He plays the strong safety or the safety position in like a positionless kind of way. So he doesn't really make much of an impact if the team defense is not good around him. Now, with that being said, if the team defense around him is very good, he's going to be the best safety in the world. But like I said, I don't know. I expect Kadarius Toney to play. And this also just feels like a game where everyone's expecting the Chiefs to, come back on top. We have to bring up that video later, Tom. I might have to try and put it and get it in this here. I'm going to go try and find that actually. The Patrick Mahomes video.
Oh my God. Yeah. The one I sent you.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Kadarius Toney has a good week this year. This week. So I'm sticking with him. I like that guy. All right.
If he plays, I love that pick.
Let's go to our tight ends. First of all, Sal.
Yes.
What the fuck happened to your football team? You guys were like good.
Our football team?
Yeah, Rhode Island.
Oh yeah, we were 5-0.
I know.
And then we went into Towson. We lost, and then we lost again, and then this week we lost again. To Maine.
Like, so you don't know. And I'll be quick about this, but last spring during the FCS season, they did it in the spring. It was all I covered in last spring. I loved it. I talked with all the FCS guys. It was awesome. Rhode Island wasn't as good this year or last year, but I was looking at it. They started out 5-0, and then they lost to Villanova 44-0.
Yeah.
What's going on over there?
Honestly, I think so. I don't know if you know this. The week 6, they're 5-0. They're ranked 12 in the FCS, and in order to celebrate that, they had a little chauffeuring from one named Robert Kraft in the New England Patriots Jets, and
yes, I saw this.
And they went from New England to Baltimore to play Towson. A 2-3. They're 2-3, by the way, and they lose like 27-14.
Yeah,
so I'm pretty sure it was just some bad luck with the New England Patriots playing, and now I think we're cursed.
We could just blame the Patriots because the Patriots suck.
I was just gonna say, Sal, we're all in. Like, we blame everything on the Patriots and Boston team. So that is 100%. Robert Kraft screwed your football team. I feel bad for you. I'm sorry about that.
Boston, man.
All right. Let's start. Who we started tight end? Tom, let's go with you first, my man.
I am going with the big man that's on the hot streak. I am going with Hunter Henry versus the Chargers. Revenge game time. Not going to throw that term around lightly. Hunter Henry has scored 4 games in a row now. 4 touchdowns over 4 games. His yardage has not been the best this season. I'm not gonna lie and say that, but the Chargers are giving up the absolute most points to fantasy tight ends in 2021, including a 4-game touchdown streak to tight ends in and of themselves. So every time Hunter Henry scored a touchdown, the Chargers have let up a touchdown to a tight end. Jonnu Smith is also dealing with a shoulder injury, so that should take away a little bit of the split time that they're sharing at the position, though I think Hunter Henry is just a better overall tight end. Justin, you know how much I love Hunter Henry.
I know you do.
I absolutely love him this week as a lock for a tight end 1.
I feel that. All right, Sal, what about you, homie?
I'm going to give praise to somebody who is on my fantasy football team, and he's been having a recent hot streak, and with Calvin Ridley out, he is going to have a very extended role today. I'm going with Kyle Pitts. He has really been lighting it up. He had 160 yards last week, and then against the Jets, he had the game of his life. And honestly, I am really excited to see what he does this week. The game against Carolina, I'm pretty sure it's going to be very competitive because of Carolina's recent situation on offense. And I think the Falcons' defense is going to have a good day, but I'll get back to that later. And honestly, I could.
Mm-mm.
You never know, Tom. You never know.
Tom.
I'm gonna beat him to it.
You're gonna beat me to it. All
Make
right.
sure you don't.
But in my matchup against Billy this week,
Oh, you have Bill's son this week. I forgot about that.
I am expecting him to have a huge game.
Well, we're all cheering for you against that guy, obviously. I don't know him, but we're all cheering for you. Yeah, I love that pick from you, Sal. I am also was big on Kyle Pitts. I got him early in a lot of my drafts, and he's finally kind of proving it. I love that pick. I agree. I think the Panthers out Falcon the Falcons today, and they lose. So
the Panthers out Falcon the Falcons. We should put that on a T-shirt.
Out Falcon.
Out Falcon the Falcons.
We should just do it for like every bad team, like out Jets the Jets. Like maybe the Bengals out Jets the Jets today. I have hope. I have hope. All right, I have hope more than you two. I have way more hope than you two do. All right, my tight end. This is a toss up for me. Baker's playing, so basically Jarvis is going to get targeted 12 times, and then the tight ends are going to get targeted 20. It's just always up in the air which ones are going to hit. I've kind of fallen off on Harrison Bryant, so I'm up in the air between Austin Hooper and David Njoku. And with the weather being like it is, I just think they're going to stick with a guy like Hooper, more sure-handed, probably a little bit like just your regular tight end rather than just super athletic one. So I think he has a big day. He's come on strong. He's basically been one of Baker's favorite targets. He's really young, which I had no idea. He just turned like 25. Jeez.
Hooper?
So I like Austin Hooper today. But then again, I could be wrong. It could be Njoku. But I really do, with the weather being like it is, they're going to play it safe. I like Austin Hooper today from the Browns. All right.
I didn't realize Hooper was that young. I hate Austin Hooper. I'm not going to lie.
He might be like 27, but yeah, he's younger. I thought he was in like his 30s. He's not.
Let me look.
I really liked Austin Hooper on the Falcons.
He was awesome on the Falcons. And the weirdest thing about Austin Hooper is he has good hands, but he catches the ball so weird. Like he just doesn't do like the regular. He like almost like chomps it like this. It's very odd. All right, let's get through our defenses quick. I'll start with you, Sal. Oh yeah, because you have the Falcons probably, so I don't want Tom to have it.
Oh, well, that's not my starter actually.
Okay, that's fine.
Unfortunately, my starter is, I don't know if you guys have the same one, but because the New York Jets have a backup quarterback playing today and Corey Davis is out, it's all leading to disaster. I think the Bengals defense is going to have a huge day. And I believe that there's going to be a lot of sacks. There's going to be maybe a couple interceptions from Mike White. And I believe that they're going to have their moments, the Jets, today. They might kick a field goal or two. But regardless, I still think the Bengals are going to shut them down in both sides of the ball.
I feel that.
My real question is with the Bengal or with Mike White today is, can he catch Zach Wilson's interceptions on the season in one game? That would be just very fun to watch. Because he already has 2, I think, from last week. So I only need 7 interceptions to Zach Wilson this week.
Hey, you guys are way too low on the Jets. I don't like this. All right.
I think we're ready to get our pick. Like, let us know where we're picking.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll get mine off real quick. I'm starting the Steelers defense. I have no faith in the Browns today. And it's the big battle is going to be the Pittsburgh defensive line versus the Browns offensive line. I think the Browns offensive line is better. I just don't think that Nick Chubb is going to be fully healthy. I don't think Baker's fully healthy. I don't care if Odell is fully healthy. And Jarvis probably isn't fully healthy either. So I don't think they're going to go. I would doubt the Steelers are going to give up many big plays. I think it's a low-scoring game, which is awesome considering I took the over on Thursday. Love it.
Love it.
All right, Tom, you.
I'm not going to spend too much time on this. The Rams should absolutely slaughter Houston. I'm just going to leave it at that.
I like that one. That was pretty easy. Good.
Yeah.
Move on to our sims. Quarterback. Tom, let's start with you.
I had him as a sleeper last week, and he proved me right. I think he's going to prove me right again this week. I'm going with Tua versus the Bills as my sit. That Bills defense front line is just great. They're going to tear through Miami's offensive line because it's struggling right now. Tua, I understand, has had a couple of good weeks in a row here. He's put together a QB 11 and QB 3 the past 2 weeks. Mainly because he's had to throw the ball being down in that situation. However, the Bills are going to put up way more points on the Miami defense early on than the Miami defense will put on the Bills. So this could be another blowout that we'll see by the Bills. And if that's the case, I think they'll stick Jacoby Brissett out there. So I think that comes into a play and a factor as well. And also, Buffalo was the team that sent Tua onto the IR back in week 2. And with the number 1 ranked pass defense, I really don't like anything about Tua's situation in the pocket. He also threw 3 interceptions last time they played the Bills in week 2. So I don't see any scenario where I can fully trust putting Tua out there.
I feel you. Sal, what about you, OA?
I'm actually going to copy and paste Tom's answer. I also had Tua.
Okay.
I literally sent you a picture of my picks.
I know, but this is my. I ain't picking you. I ain't taking your play, but regardless, Tua has been on a hot streak lately. I've loved Jalen Waddle the last couple of weeks. I've been starting him in a couple of my other leagues. But personally, I think between the Buffalo secondary and all the rest of the Buffalo defensive line, I just think they're just going to get shut down today, and it's going to be a little bit of a blowout.
I can feel that. All right. We talked about mine a little earlier, Tom. I'm sitting Dak just because you don't know if he's going to play. Even if he does play, he doesn't play well injured. I think if he does play, they're going to try and get him the lightest load they can. They're going to load up Zeke, I think. I mean, you brought up Jerry Jeudy earlier just because he's back from the IR, but CeeDee Lamb's been a major disappointment as well. He's had his games, but he just drops the ball way too many times. I liked him a lot coming out of Oklahoma, but he just doesn't seem to be the same guy, which, it's not for everybody. But, I just don't think it's worth it to risk Dak.
Yeah, I agree. This is lining up to be a big Zeke night, especially versus Minnesota's defense, who I want to say ranks in the bottom half. I don't want to go too far and say that they're an atrocious run defense, but I think – who's the offensive coordinator there? Is it Kellen Moore?
Yeah.
Kellen Moore is a guy who's enjoyed using the passing game this year, but I think this is one where he's going to realize and should have realized already through practice this week that this is going to be lining up to be a rush-heavy attack this week.
Yeah. All right. Sit 'em running backs. Tom, how about you?
I know that I want to put this very lightly. I understand he has not performed to expectation this year, but I think it might be time to drop Mike Davis because he has had a double-digit outing in the last 5 outings of this year. He has hit double digits, but now that we're starting to see Cordero Patterson come into his own as the utility man, I don't think that he's going to see any of the touches that we were all expecting him. Remember, at the beginning of the season, Justin, I was all in on Mike Davis. I thought he was going to be great in the starting role. I loved Mike Davis, but I did not plan for Cordero Patterson to just be like, hey, I'm going to play wide receiver out of the running back spot so Mike Davis is on the bench. Coming out of the bye week that the Falcons had, last week. It was 1 week removed. He had 4 carries for 10 yards and no targets. I think during that bye week, the Falcons reassessed their running back room and the running back situation, and they're going with Cordero Patterson, even though he's older than Mike Davis and not on as big of a contract. Mike Davis might be reaching the point for me now that he might be a drop-worthy candidate. So I'm benching him this week versus Carolina, who has played pretty well against the rushing attack, but I really don't see any situation that he has a good day today.
All right, what about you, Sal?
I see your brown shirt over there, and unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with D'Ernest Johnson, because Nick Chubb has come back. He is going to get a very extended role against the Steelers, especially when they have to have a very good game today. Rivalry game, it's a must-win. I believe that he is the superstar of the team. And I think with Kareem Hunt on the IR for now, I think that Nick Chubb is going to have a very extensive role. D'Ernest Johnson's probably going to have a touch here or there, but in red zone situations, in open field situations, I think Nick Chubb is going to be that guy all day.
All right, I respect that. My sit-em running back is going to be – I just had him in my head. Why can't I think of him right now? Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette for the Bucks. The Saints are the second best run defense in the NFL. With team they're playing, the Bucks being the first. I think Tom Brady's going to have to look through the air a lot today. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than most people think. I personally like the Saints today, but I'm sitting down Leonard Fournette. I think, if anything, Tom Brady might throw the ball 45 times. So pretty simple for me. All right.
Fair enough.
What's up? Wide receiver. Sal, let's start with you.
I expected so much for him this year, and he has completely disappointed me to the point where he started off with 15 points, and now he's gone down to 9. He's playing San Francisco today, and I believe he is not going to do well at all. Allen Robinson has literally not done much. He's not the Allen Robinson we used to know from last year and years past. I believe that he is on the trade block. He could be moved this season, but I highly doubt it. He's probably going to switch to a new team sooner rather than later, unfortunately. And I expect the same thing from weeks past this week. So
they need to send him to the Jets, for the love of God. I would love it, but it's not going to happen. I really don't think he's on the trade block, in all honesty. They realize that Fields needs that go-to guy, and I understand he hasn't been using him. I think he's been projected to use him, but they're going to need to evaluate that, and they're going to need to say, yeah, you need to be forcing it to your stud. If you had any time in the pocket, that is, but we're not going to talk about that. I do like that pick, though, for this week. I think that the 49er pass defense and then the pass rush is going to really get to Fields, just like every other team that's playing the Bears.
Right. Talking about the entire league here against the Bears. All right, Tom, who you got?
It really pains me to say this because I love the guy. I'm going with Tyler Lockett, and I understand they're playing Jacksonville. It's a very susceptible defense. This is what I was saying just in the beginning of the show. I have a really hot, spicy take for my sleeper wideout. Everything is lined up for Lockett to have a solid day along with DK. I think it's going to be more of a DK day, especially with Geno Smith in. It really hurts me to say I love Tyler Lockett, one of my more preferred receivers to take in Madden and in fantasy. I can't see him being better than a wide receiver 3. Last week with Geno Smith out there, I should say the last 2 weeks with Geno Smith out there, he recorded a stat line of 2 catches, 35 yards, and 2 catches for 12 yards. I don't see him getting the targets, and I'm okay being 100% wrong with this. But Geno just doesn't look for him, doesn't target him. We talked earlier about Pete Carroll wanting to get Rashad Penny more involved. He's a pretty decent pass catcher and a really good yard after catch guy. So I think Lockett is slowly getting phased out until Russ comes back.
Yeah, and he's always been a favorite target of Russ's since Russ came into the league. So it's not surprising that he would probably see just naturally less targets from someone who's not Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Fun fact about Tyler Lockett, though, in his entire career, he's never dropped a red zone target.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I saw that and I was like, huh, makes sense.
I don't know if I believe you.
It was on WTF stats.
Well, they could be faking it. Who knows?
And they are very thorough.
Wide receiver, I'm sitting. I mentioned him earlier, but it goes along with my Cowboys thing. I'm sitting CeeDee Lamb. Like I said, he's been pretty disappointing overall. Like I said, I liked him coming out of Oklahoma. He just drops way too many balls, and the fact that we talked about for about 5 minutes there how it's going to be more of a ground and pound game for the Cowboys. So if anyone's going to get touches, I think it's going to be Amari Cooper.
So, Justin, I want to ask, what do you think what was his expectation for the year? Because you say that he's had a disappointing season so far. What did you expect him to, at this stage, be at player rank-wise? Like, where did you assume he would rank among wide receivers?
I thought my personal opinion was that he should be having a season like Jamar Chase is having right now.
But player rank-wise, let's just go with that because that's something that we can put. Let me pull up Jamar Chase, and I will. Where's your team?
I would think CeeDee Lamb, is he top 10?
He's currently number 15. That means that it constitutes as a wide receiver 1. He's had one game where it was overly disappointing. He's had 23, 17, 9, where he got hurt. The disappointing game in Carolina with 3. Then he had 18 and 36 so far.
All right. You know what, Tom? I don't know why you got to question my picks. Like, I don't put a ton of time into this. Like, Jesus. Just take it as it is, man.
I just want to know what the standard is for a good season. That's all I'm asking.
If you're a top 15 pick as wide receiver, you should be like, wait. Did he go in the top 10? Did he go in the top 10? No, he went just outside the top 10, right? 11 or something.
For like drafting all positions or just as wide receiver draft picks?
In the actual draft.
Oh, he was, I think, didn't the Cowboys get him at like 20?
I think he got early teens, like 11, 12, or 13. Either way, he was the best receiver coming out by far, I thought. So I thought he would be at the Jamar Chase level at this point. And he's just not, and that's okay. I mean, I guess he's having a good season. But just know, Tom, I'm just going to question every single one of your goddamn picks from now on, okay?
17, you're right. I said 20.
All right, we're moving on, Tom. We're moving on.
Tom, you're on the hot seat.
Tight ends. Who we singing at tight end? Sal, go ahead.
Personally, I know the Chiefs have been on a bad streak lately. I don't know if that's going to continue. I feel like the Giants are a very susceptible team to like fold in these type of games where they're playing a high caliber team. And I think Evan Ingram is not going to have a good day. Just personally, I feel like Daniel Jones is going to rely more on the run game and rely more on his receivers. I don't think Evan Ingram's going to have much of a role, unfortunately. And personally, I have had Evan Ingram in a lot of my leagues, and he has not been consistent at all.
Why do you have Evan Ingram?
What?
Why do you have Evan Ingram?
Sometimes there's like
you just get trapped.
Available. I just get trapped. Yeah. It's like in our league this year. I have to take Devontae Adams in the second round. He's not consistent at all, and I think today is going to be an inconsistent day for him. So,
There you go,
Gotcha.
Justin. My dad
I
is
know.
now throwing money on the Lions and the Browns. Let's
Well,
go.
who would I be
you.
who would I be if I don't follow Mr. Bennett? I'm also gonna put some money on the money line, Browns and Lions right now. So I'm with you, Mr. Bennett.
We're
So if we
here.
both go down, we both go down together. So
I'll have to get someone back home in Jersey and log into my account and bet the Lions money line with like my money that's in my account. Or I'll just have to get a new app. Whatever. It's fine.
yeah, I think you'll be all right, man.
I won't.
Tom, we're up with you, tight ends.
Yeah, I am going with Jared Cook versus New England. He's had some big games and big success in the red zone recently. However, New England is the best team, or I should say the worst team for tight ends to go up against. They're giving up the fewest fantasy points overall. And Cook has only topped 30 yards once in the last 5 games. And that one time that he did, he had a huge game. So Belichick giving up the third fewest to that said position. That doesn't seem right. I said first before. I think they're the best against tight ends. But only one tight end has ended up passing 30 yards on New England. And I don't see Jared Cook getting that. If anything, the Chargers are going to move the ball to Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. And apparently Austin Eckler since he's playing. So I think Cook is just going to get phased out of the offense with everyone finally healthy.
I mess with that. That's cool. I like that pick, bro. Sick pick.
Sick.
Sick. All right. My sit-in for my tight end. I haven't really thought about this one. It kind of caught me off guard. I was a little busy putting some money down on the other one.
Fair enough.
Didn't have this one written down.
You're gonna make me sign up for.
Okay, well, we're just, you know what, I'm gonna put the pass on there, because I have Kyle Pitts written down, but I don't know why. Because I love Kyle Pitts and I loved your pick, Sal. So, if you watch our show, this happens to me probably 3 times a week, so it's not surprising.
Don't worry about it.
Go quickly through our defenses. I have the Chiefs sitting down. I don't know why you would ever. I don't even. The Chiefs shouldn't be on your roster. So
No, I actually really like that because Sal actually just picked up the Chiefs for the Falcons defense.
I did.
And I absolutely love that from Justin because I 100% agree. The Giants, while they are beat up, Daniel Jones puts up some numbers sometimes, and the Chiefs are not the greatest defense in the league.
Yeah, 100%.
Sal,
So, yeah.
would you like a counter argument?
The Falcons are the 32nd best team defense in the league, and I know that the Panthers are going to struggle, but I feel like the Chiefs are going to have a type of day where they're all over the ball, especially against the Giants. As a New Jersey person, I can say that I know the Giants have those type of days,
but you wouldn't rather have someone like Philadelphia versus Detroit, where you can at least hope that they like the Lions suck, or like the Jaguars versus Geno Smith. You're going with the Chiefs.
First off, I am not starting the Jaguars defense in any situation necessary.
The Panthers defense is there. You could go against Atlanta. They're a top defense.
I would not pick up Carolina this week.
Fair enough. They are defense 10 though.
They are.
Tom, go ahead. Or did you go?
Sal, did you go?
I did go.
Okay.
Wait, no, I didn't. Wait, for defense?
Yeah, defense.
I am going to go with the Colts defense because last week the Titans had a very, very good game. I know you're shaking your head. Don't. But AJ Brown, he had a very good game last week. I feel like he's going to have an extended role because Julio is out, right?
I didn't see his name in the injury report.
that's even better for him. So
No, Julio
honestly,
is out. Julio's
Oh, it
out.
is? Okay.
Yeah.
he is out. Okay, but I feel like when AJ Brown is on at that elite level, there's almost no one in the league that can guard him. And I think that Derrick Henry is going to run the ball all over him. I feel like AJ Brown is going to be that reliable target as he usually is. And I think the Titans are going to have a very good day offensively.
All right, Tom.
Sal took my defense.
Okay, cool. No need to go
Yeah,
any
I'm-
further than that. We got to get through these fast. I have a great video to show here soon. I'm going to start first with my sleeper quarterback because I know that one of you is going to take it unless I say it first. I'm going to go Daniel Jones, the quarterback for the Giants. Against the
Damn
Chiefs.
it.
I knew. I heard you say Daniel Jones when you were talking like a minute ago, and I was like, I got to go first because this is the only one that I actually thought about. But yes, Daniel Jones, you never know with him. But the Chiefs defense is in disarray, and this just seems like a game that the Chiefs might end up losing, and we'll look back and be like, this is where like it was the lowest of lows. So I like that one. It's in Kansas City, correct?
Yeah.
Dang it, that's actually
No.
crazy.
It's New York. It's New York. It's New York.
Oh, dang it. Okay, never mind. Well, Daniel Jones is just great anyways. So yeah. Sal, let's hit you up. QB.
I'm like I was saying before, I think AJ Brown's gonna have a very big day. I'm gonna go with Ryan Tannehill.
Those are literally my two choices. God damn it.
I think the Titans have been dominant as of lately, and I feel like they're gonna continue that streak on offense versus Indy. So I'm very excited to see what AJ Brown does. Unfortunately, I traded him in one of my leagues for Allen Robinson, which is a very stupid move. I know it was very stupid, but I counter offered that with someone trading me Chase Claypool for Devontae Booker. So I just took that.
Oh, yeah.
Chase Claypool might have a big game today. I
like
might play
today.
him. He might have a big game.
He got Claypool. Actually, he was the guy. If I didn't go with Higgins, I was going with Claypool.
Tom, remind me once we're done here, not done, but at the end to name off my pirate roster to Sal. I think he's going to be pretty surprised how good it is.
If you share your screen, you could just show us.
Yeah, I'm not going to though.
Fair enough.
I'm doing some things on the producing end over here, Tom. So you know what? Just you cool it over there.
All right.
Quarterback. Bilson made a roster move.
It was Chase
Oh, no.
McLaughlin getting cut. Don't worry about it. He's going to pick up someone in a few seconds here.
He just did.
It's Graham Gano because it's a giant player.
I
He
know
was
who's
too
up.
scared that he saw me pick up the Chiefs defense. So
He thinks he can win, and it's funny.
Tom, we already had your 2 picks. So who's your 3rd pick?
I'm not gonna take a third. You guys overlapped on 1 or 2. I'm gonna stick with Daniel Jones versus the Chiefs, mainly because the other sleeper options that I have kind of tucked away, I just really don't love their situations. I thought about going with Teddy B versus Washington, but especially with Judy back.
I thought that one too. I did,
but I just don't trust Teddy B to put up more than his average on the season, which seems to be around 15. He's projected for 18 today. Usually when I do my sleepers, I look at their projections and I'm like, okay, they're projected to do bad. Do I think that they can do better? Because I always look at sleepers as guys that everyone expects to do bad, and I think they'll do good, and has done me well in the past. But I don't think I could do that with Teddy B, and then the rest I just don't believe in whatsoever. So I'm going to stick with Daniel Jones. Giants are healthy. If Shepard's there, I think that they'll move the ball a lot. Maybe find the end zone once or twice. So I'm going with Daniel Jones there.
All right, running back, Sal.
I'm going to go with Kenneth Gainwell because he had a very good game last week, and he's going to continue in that role as a starter because Miles Sanders has an ankle sprain, I'm pretty sure, and
He's out. He's on the IR.
Yeah, and he is playing Detroit this week, and I feel like he is going to have a very extended role and a role that he is going to thrive in because he's very young. He's very explosive. I believe that he's going to have a very good game today.
I like that pick. Tom.
I am going with a guy that a lot of people sort of forgot about. I know he had a solid week last week versus the Colts, coming off a bye, but I'm going with Elijah Mitchell versus the Bears defense this week. The Bears are, if there's one good thing about their defense, it's the fact that they can hold people on the ground. Tom.
You still there, Sal?
I'm
still there?
still here.
All right.
He's his Indiana internet connection is not so.
Yeah.
Not so
Well, he's probably gonna log out. He'll come right back in. No worries. We're gonna keep going.
Okay.
Who you got for your running back, man?
My running back. I said Kenneth Gainwell.
Oh shit! Yeah, you went. Okay. Yeah. My bad.
You good.
I'm going against you with this one. And this is just me because I kind of I know the Browns system. I like Dearness Johnson. He's not going to get as many carries as Kareem Hunt would, but I bet he gets over 10, 10 to 12, 10 to 15 carries. And the offensive line is good enough. I didn't make him a start because there obviously is that chance that he'll only get 10 carries for 20 yards or something like that.
Sure.
But I just think he's on a hot streak. And the Browns running back room, it's just weird. They all get the ball. Felton will get the ball in the backfield. So I don't think if you don't have any other better options, I don't think playing Dearness Johnson is a terrible idea. Tom, you back?
Yeah, sorry, my Wi-Fi cut out again. It was like, hey, we're gonna bounce you over to this one real quick.
Gotcha.
Did I get the name out, or did I cut out before that?
Say it again.
You said Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Elijah Mitchell. The Bears are pretty good, I would say, versus the run. But I think that a guy like Elijah Mitchell is going to really work well in Shanahan's system. Shanahan has had really good success against the Bears defense in the past with his rushing attack. And Mitchell also is a very viable PPR candidate for some extra yardage. Last week, he put up almost 18 points just solely on the ground. So I very much like Mitchell this week, even though everyone's thinking the Bears defense is going to shut him down.
All right. Wide receiver, Sal, you can go ahead and start, my man.
I'm gonna pull something out of the bag here. Jared Goff.
Yes, do it. I love it.
Khalif Raymond. He came off a very good game last week. He started off very well, like in week 2 and week 3, and he's had a little bit of resurgence just starting this last week. And I feel like he's going to step up a lot. He's going to be a reliable option for him this week. So,
yeah, I messed with that. I like that pick.
I love that pick, Sal. That's a great pick. He was going to be mine, but I went with a different guy. We are going to answer TS's question, though. The Bears defense or the Steelers defense this week? That's a tough question.
That is a tough question.
What was the question?
The Bears versus Steelers, the defense this week.
I'd take.
We don't get too many defensive questions.
I play the Steelers D. 100%.
I have to agree.
Yeah, I would also say Steelers.
I just don't trust the Bears defense. They're athletic and they can always have a good game, but I do think it's going to be a low scoring game in Cleveland today. I think the TJ Watt's still hurt. I don't know.
I think he is.
Whatever. I think the Pittsburgh defense is going to have their moments. I think they'll get a couple sacks. They'll probably get at least 1 or 2 turnovers. So yeah, I think you're good if you go with the Steelers D. Expect it as long as you're only expecting like just regular points from a defense.
Yeah, if you're looking for Tennessee versus Kansas City type points, that's just hard to predict.
Yeah, absolutely. Wide receiver, Tom.
I am going with Emmanuel Sanders. He has been a sleeper all year, essentially, because he he was not the number one. They have Stephon Diggs, who's been struggling, partially because of Emmanuel Sanders' presence. If you look at the target share this year, Emmanuel Sanders holds a target share that is almost double Stephon Diggs, if not maybe a little less than double. But he currently has 39 targets on the year. He's caught 24 of them for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's also averaging 17 yards per catch. So when he is getting the ball, he's absolutely insane and moving with it. He has had 5 or more targets every single game. He has 3 games with 6 targets, 2 games with 8, and 1 game with 5. He's coming off a bye week, and Josh Allen loves throwing to him. And with Dawson Knox out, I think he's going to start to see even more targets in the red zone, which could potentially lead to some more touchdowns. And this Miami secondary, we talked about it earlier, it is not that scary, even with those 2 stud corners that they have. I think that they balance out with Sanders and Diggs, and I believe a lot more in wide receivers than I do in corners when it comes to balls in the air in the football game. So I'm going with Emmanuel Sanders, and I'm riding the wave.
I like that. I'm going to go one that's really kind of out of left field, and it's more just because of the circumstances surrounding it. I'm going to go with Van Jefferson for the Rams.
I like that.
He is going to be taking most likely Deshaun Jackson's spot in that lineup where he's going to go up the slot, go deep, things like that. He's got 3 touchdowns on the year. He's pretty inconsistent, but in almost every game he's targeted. Well, other than the first 2 games, he's almost been targeted at least 5 times every game, and a lot of them been deep balls. And eventually, teams are going to have to start loading up on Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. They're just going to have to, or else you're not going to beat the Rams. So I think Van Jefferson is another one, just maybe to he might catch 1 or 2 deep balls, and that's just 10 points for no reason. So
hey, he's a stash. I love that pick.
I like Van Jefferson. Thank you, Tom. I'm smart 3% of the time. All right, tight ends. I'll start this one, actually. It's kind of a retread. We agree, Tom, a lot of it's honestly weird how much we agree nowadays, but it's very weird.
The show used to be controversial.
My sleeper tight end is Hunter Henry as well. At some point, I mean, Jonnu Smith isn't doing it in New England. It's just not. I think they kind of brought both of them in, and kind of as it's been the deal with New England, like one receiver is going to step forward. I think Hunter Henry is the tight end that has stepped forward. And if they want to be in the playoff race, Mac Jones is going to have to be careful with the ball, and then careful with the ball means check downs to tight ends. So I like Hunter Henry a lot. I think he actually comes on very strong at the end of the year here.
I agree.
Sal, how about you, man?
I know Tom's gonna love this one.
Good.
I know
where you're going, and it was my backup just in case.
I am going to go with Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah.
They had a bye last week, but the week before, I know he had a very, very good game. Probably the best one of his rookie season. And I feel like off the bye week, he's going to have a very extended role. They're going to rely a lot on the pass this week, and I feel like Pat Freiermuth is going to have that extended role and be part of that passing attack. So I'm very excited. I know Tom's
especially with Eric Ebron out, he's going to have even more looks.
Exactly.
All right, whatever. Tom, go ahead.
I kind of want to just abandon my other one because of how much Pat Freiermuth is going to feast this week, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going with Tyler Higbee versus Houston. Very similar as to why you're going with Van Jefferson, Justin.
That was I like Tyler Higbee was going to be my pick if it wasn't Hunter Henry. I like that.
Yeah, Higbee is a guy that I have believed in this year, and he hasn't necessarily disappointed, but he's having just a very consistent low-end tight end 1 year. I thought this was going to be the year with Stafford coming in. We were going to see him maybe break top 6 for tight ends, but he's hanging around somewhere around 14, 15 right now, which isn't bad. He gets you consistent points week to week, which is all you can ask for out of tight ends. This week, though, versus Houston, we saw what Buffalo did to Houston. They are very susceptible to giving Dawson Knox touchdowns, apparently, in Houston. Tyler Higbee, while not as athletic as Dawson Knox has the chemistry and he has the opportunity. Houston's going to be very scared playing defense because of the fact they have to cover everyone because everyone is a playmaker and a big playmaker. But once you get down into the red zone, Justin, you mentioned that you don't love any of the Rams running backs this week. I agree 100%. I think it's going to be going through the air, and that's where Tyler Higbee is going to really make his money. So I absolutely love Higbee this week, despite the fact he's only projected for, I think, 10 or 12.
But at some points in your season, 10 or 12 from a tight end is like it could change the game where you're either getting 10 or 12. You're getting 10 or 12 or you're getting like 1.5. Like I'm still predicted to win this week in the Pirate League. I don't know how because Kyler Murray only had 10 points. And that really screwed me. And I think
I don't want to talk about it.
That screwed a lot of people.
We all have Kyler Murray in one of the leagues or not, so we understand the pain.
Sal, I'm sorry. I usually wear my Kyler Murray shirt. They already played and lost though, so I couldn't wear it.
Yeah.
He's my favorite player because he's short.
I can't wear my Zach Wilson jersey because he's not playing, and I don't want to be seen as the Jets get 70 bombed.
I understand that. Rapid fire sleeper defense. Sal.
I know Tom is the same one, but
you freaking bum. Then why'd you cut him?
I just thought the Chiefs were gonna do well.
Then go with the Chiefs.
Okay, then I'll go with the Chiefs. I think, but honestly, I had my eye on the Chiefs defense because they were playing the Giants all week. I was literally waiting I was gonna play a game with Billy. He was like, "Oh yeah, why are you taking the 32nd best defense?" And I was just gonna wait till Sunday to drop the Falcons and to pick up the Chiefs because I feel like the Chiefs have those days where they're gonna be all over the ball, like I've been saying, just like between their set, like they usually have a decent secondary. I believe that they're gonna match it. They're gonna match the Giants wide receivers, and I know, like I said before, Evan Ingram. I don't believe that he's gonna have a good day either. And I feel like the Chiefs are honestly going to shut down the Giants this week.
I feel you.
I think it's hilarious because Justin Billy is a Giants fan. Yes. So I can just see it now. My favorite perfect scenario that happens going into Monday night, Billy has like one or two Giants wide receivers on his team. I'm pretty sure he's starting both of them. Sal has about a 5-point lead, let's say. And the Giants absolutely shit the bed, give up a ton of points to the Kansas City Chiefs defense, and Billy watches his team get destroyed Monday night and loses to the Chiefs defense and to Sal in fantasy. You can't write a better story. In New York, you can't write a better story.
Clearly not.
Karma.
All right. I don't have a sleeper defense. We're cutting close to closing time, but I think it's time that we all come together, and I think we need to hold. What is it called? Like what you do for alcoholics and drug addicts.
An intervention.
Yes, we need to hold an intervention with Patrick Mahomes. We either need to hold an intervention with Patrick Mahomes, or
yes.
I am already putting this in framework right now. We are going to put in together a mission to go save him. I don't know if anyone saw this, but this lovely video came out on Friday night. Tom sent it to me.
I don't know when it was recorded, but all I know is I saw it for the first time and I went, "Oh no, Pat."
We've been in Tom, and especially me. I've been saying for weeks that I honestly think that in the back of Patrick Mahomes' head, every time he throws an interception, he's like, "What the fuck is my little goddamn brother doing on TikTok that's going to embarrass me?" I honestly think he thinks that, and this video just is proof that the world, as guys, we need to go save him from his family. As just dudes, we need to save him.
Touch this. Touch this. Touch this.
The best part is him in the background just going,
He's just like,
Fuck.
I don't understand, guys. Come
You
on.
did you see?
He's like,
the video-
please, for once.
Did you see the video of his brother dancing on Sean Taylor's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had a whole thing on that. Yep.
I honestly I've said it. Like I honestly think the first time he throws an interception, his first thought is like, what TikTok is going to come up? Like, I honestly think I bet you he's like a dude that after games, especially home games, like takes an extra long ice bath and an extra long shower, and then like drives home, gets in his neighborhood, and like drives around his neighborhood for like 20 minutes, just dreading pulling in his own driveway going home. So Tom, I will put a mission together for our podcast tomorrow. I'll have some early things that we need to do to go save him. But yeah, someone needs to save Patrick Mahomes. I just feel bad for him at this point. So yeah. But that is it for our Fantasy Sunday. Like I said, I'm giving out Lions money line. Like I said, I like the Browns over as well. I also like the Jets with the points. The only one I'm really confident is none of them. But if there was one, I'd take the Lions money line. I just think they have to win at some point, and it's just going to happen today. Other than that, all dudes out there, just think like when you're about to sit down and watch a football game today, maybe drink a beer or whatever, just pour one out for Patrick Mahomes because he's going to be he's probably very depressed. So that's going to do it. Sal, thank you very much for joining us. As always, I tell Tom's friends, anyone, you're more than welcome to come on whenever you want. I don't know if we'll have Asher tomorrow. If not, maybe you'll come on, Sal. I don't know, but we will see you tomorrow. Sal, any last words? Tom, any last words?
Sal, do you have any?
Someday another Jets loss. Let's go.
Let's go, Dogs. That's how I have to
Dogs.
finish.
All right, let's rock.
Happy Halloween.